Hi, this is Salman from Tax Advisory, and we've had a request to explain how to calculate your GST and lodge your BAS. Mauricio, this one's for you. To start off with, what is GST and how does it work? GST is a consumption-based tax aimed at the end users of goods and services sold in Australia. The ultimate payers of the GST are the individual consumers. The government aims to tax you for what you spend rather than what you earn. However, it will be difficult to tax consumers individually to calculate their consumption. Instead, the ATO have made businesses responsible for adding 10% GST to their prices and collecting the money on the government's behalf. The simplest example of this is where a factory makes televisions and sells them directly to the consumer. If the sales price is $2,000, then the factory will add 10% and charge the customers $2,200. The factory keeps $2,000 as sales revenue and gives the ATO $200. The customer has paid $2,000 for the TV and $200 in GST. But this arrangement doesn't normally happen. Normally, products are bought and sold many times before they reach the consumer. So say the factory sells the TV to the store for $1,100 including GST, the factory would then owe the ATO $100. When the store sells the TV to the customer for $2,200 including GST, the customer has paid $200 in GST and $2,000 for the TV. But the store already paid $100 in GST to the factory when the TV was initially bought. To make things fair, the store will only have to pay the ATO the difference between the GST it collected from the customer and the GST it paid to the factory. Now, let's calculate the GST liability for the store. First, the total value of GST collected is calculated. This is easy to do if you just divide the total GST inclusive sales by 11. In this case, $2,200 divided by 11 is $200. Secondly, the total value of GST paid is calculated by dividing the total GST inclusive purchases by 11. In this case, $1,100 divided by 11 is $100. Since the store has collected more GST than it has paid, it has to pay the excess to the ATO. If it had paid more GST than it had collected, it would receive a refund from the ATO. To calculate the GST, businesses fill in the Business Activity Statement or BAS and lodge it with the ATO every year, quarter or month, depending on the size of the business. The BAS form follows the same calculation discussed in this video. One thing to note that is while the concept is very easy, there are exceptions and details you should ask your accountant about. For example, sellers don't have to charge GST on some fresh food, but they do on cooked food. If you're unsure, please ask your accountant. As always, we love hearing from you, so if you'd like something explained with poorly drawn cartoons, please get in touch. We are Tax Advisory.